This is a dirty game, bro. And what I've always said is all is fair in love, war, and challenges, 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 and challenges.
What's really good, pot stirrers? I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder, who is not currently there. Right? Oh, and he's back. What's up, Tyler? Tyler joins us today. What's good? She is. Good to have you back. She is Becky at Giftmaster Bex. And of course, we are joined by the one, the only, the Stan, the man, the myth, the legend, Antonio, a.k.a. the Bananas Defender. Good day to be a Bananas Defender, don't you think? I tell you what, your dude won the whole entire thing. Why don't you take a couple of seconds and go off? It's your day. Let that man breathe. And Jenny too. All right, give me one second. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the audio. It seems that way. Oh, well, this is just a tad bit embarrassing. You go ahead and do that. You guys really think it was lame? Because we're still live, so shut up and keep talking. Yes, good to have you back, Tyler. Oh, man, bananas. Yo, your guy wins, and of course the whole audio goes to shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you guys.
We're back?
So should I do my whole bananas dance again?
Go ahead. You can do
No.
it.
I do not want to go to sleep. You were already putting me to sleep.
She is bananas.
Go ahead, Bananas. You want to bring it in one more time? Because you're that kind of guy.
Oh, wait. My music.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
So
whatever. Let's just move on.
Wait, I got it.
Oh, here we go.
Going down. Wait, where is it? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, there we go. This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-S. This shit is bananas.
Okay, you can stop now. Here's something interesting. My sister is FaceTiming me. Hey, G.
Are you recording?
I am recording. Hold on 1 second. Say hi.
Hi.
No, you see me.
Yeah, a couple of people just seen you. This is my.
Are you ready?
And
All right.
probably a couple
You ready?
100,000
Say
more.
hi,
once.
G.
Hi, G.
Hi.
She can't hear you. They all say hi. This is my little sister.
Just AKA that bitch.
That's AK.
Ah! Yes, queen.
Hey, I'm live right now.
Can I tell the world a secret right now?
Okay.
About Malik, yes.
My friends just called me on an old school three-way call while I was talking shit about a bitch. They're like, oh, she's here.
Who?
Lindsay.
With who? Who's the third person?
Mark and Jeannie were at the gym with her, and they were like calling me like, "Where's something at the gym?" I was like, "How'd you get the gym key?" And they're like, "We got it from."
This
Lindsay."
phone
I'm like,
call's
"You
more
guys are
interesting than the
crazy.
final was.
Why would you go talk to that bitch?"
That's not nice.
They're like, "She's right here with us."
Oh.
Someone just mad. Someone was on the season.
I was like, "Just kidding."
No, I'm happy because you know what? Jenny won.
Oh my
Jenny
God.
is number one.
Why are you always
Jenny's
doing that
number
shit?
one.
But check this out,
Jenny's
G.
number one.
I'm gonna have to call you back. Like, we're live.
Okay, bye.
Bye, love you.
Bye.
Nobody
So
can
that's my
join
little
it.
sister. She's oh man, she's great. Bananas. So I gave you the opportunity earlier to go ahead and go off about your guy. Why don't you go ahead and pick it back up right where you left
Again?
off?
Okay. I mean, all right. Going into the season.
Hold on, let me go back to sleep.
All right. Good night.
Let this man go
Just
off.
take the night off. Take the night off. It's
Yo,
okay.
his fave one, let him go off.
All right. So going into the season, I knew people had to win eliminations, and I know that's not a strong suit. So I was like, oh fuck, this is really not his season. Then I was looking. I didn't want to watch spoilers, but I did. So he was gone. I was like, fuck. Then spoilers are wrong. He's back the next week, whatever it was, and then he ends up winning. And I couldn't just process it right away that, oh my God, he won 7 times. Like, it's insane. And still to this day, like, even watching it on my computer, I'm like, wow. Like, it's true. Like, I'm just happy for him. I'm happy that it could happen on a better season, just 20 the season. I know everyone's gonna say, oh, it was rigged, stage, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But we saw how it played out. It just worked in his favor. He masterminded this game all season long. Throughout the season, in the final, he played his game. He won 2 eliminations. You can't discredit him for it. He won the final. He won the final. Like, you can't say he didn't. He clearly was the first male across that finish line. You can't go against it.
And also, congrats to Jenny for kicking the shit out of all the other girls.
I mean,
She's
Jenny's
number
just
one.
a beast.
She's number one. She's
Technically-
number one.
All right. It sounds
Technically,
like
she's
Tyler
number
has a
3.
rebuttal.
Well, Jenny's number 3 technically. She's the 3rd female to beat all males and all females in a final. Somebody
Wait,
posted
say
this
that one more
earlier.
time?
She's the 3rd female in a final to finish the final before everybody else. All males. and
Who's the
all
other
females.
two?
Cara, Jenny,
Cara.
Ashley.
Now go back a little bit
Ashley.
farther. No.
Susie.
Nope.
That's the correct
Rachel.
guess.
Rachel on the duel too. After she burnt out Brad. She jogged her way to the finish line.
Oh, look at that. That's that old school knowledge. Before we jump back into the episode, I want to give a big shout out to the Challenge Unbothered and the Challenge Black Voices, 2 of my favorite new groups that I'm in. I'm also still in Challenge Talk and Challenge Fans. I love being in there too. But these are 2 groups I really have come to love, to show us a lot of support, and it's been an absolute joy coming to you guys every single week. So thank you guys so much, because you guys give us your time, and time is the most valuable thing in the world, and we appreciate that. Just wanted to say thank you. We see every comment, we hear everything. Thank you. And for any other interested parties, I am MTV Malik. So in case you didn't know how to pronounce my name, there you go. Becky,
Wait.
why don't you
Malik,
jump in?
be quiet.
Is it not Malik?
Oh, no. It's Malik, and I think everybody knows that by now. But Becky, talk about it. Bananas and Jenny takes the win in the toughest final ever. What is your overall thoughts?
You couldn't even say that without like coughing. You know that final was trash. That was the worst final ever.
I wouldn't say it was trash.
The only thing that was honestly, I was like, okay, this final's kind of hard because it is in a mountain. It is ice cold. And I know that that is extraordinarily difficult. I'm from the Midwest. I know what it's like to be freezing cold and to have to run or to do any kind of sport or any kind of anything in that kind of weather is extraordinarily difficult. But overall, this final is nowhere near as difficult as the previous finals we've been seeing. Like, there was no eating challenge. There was no real puzzle. It was just math. Like,
Math is hard.
I
There
know
was
it's hard.
a lot more though.
It's literally
that happened that we
it
didn't
was
see
literally
in
War
this
of the
final.
Worlds. It took War of the Worlds 1's second point, where they had to correctly solve that math puzzle, where the other people didn't end up making it through. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh my god, it's War of the World all over again.
No,
But
War
it
of the
was-
Worlds
it was
was
lame.
that was way harder on the math puzzle. The math puzzle, they ran like a mile doing a math equation.
Right?
That
I mean,
was
this whole
tough.
thing looked.
No
And
one,
this
no
one
one
was
cried
like-
during this season during the final.
Yeah,
That's
because
not
it was
true.
12 miles.
3 people quit during this final.
Yo, that's something.
3.
3.
like
I'm,
that.
I'm counting
Well-
Rogan. Rogan
Oh,
voted
oh.
himself into elimination.
He wanted to go
I
home.
was counting Vienna,
Rogan
but
was
okay.
going to go in anyway.
It doesn't matter though. Rogan wanted to go home. If Rogan wanted to stay, he would have tackled Bananas and then rung that bell. Instead, he just I missed it. Oh dang, I'm out of here. Bye.
Oh no! Oh my! Send me
So then,
home.
all right, then 4 people quit because I will still count Vienna every single time.
Oh my god! Leave that baby alone. But
All right, so every
anyway,
time Melissa fell, I felt bad for Vienna every single time.
that baby was a
sucked.
zygote at the time.
That sucked, and I'm not saying that didn't have anything to do with it, but come on, Melissa is small, it is cold, it is freezing, and that's the thing. The cold makes it so much more tougher, but it's kind of hard to display how much tougher be on camera. Like, having to stay out all night. I mean, really, what was that on camera? 20 seconds? I mean, really, we're talking about 6 to 8 hours all night in the cold, standing up around the fire.
Well,
That-
no,
I mean,
they
your
let them in.
options, but
They
your
let 'em
options
in.
are also limited. When you're just on snow, you can only do so much. You can't, like, I'm trying to think the right word to say.
Snow
but, like,
is similar to sand in a lot of ways.
But here's the thing. On Battle of the X's, they had so many more stops they showed us in snow. There were so many more things for them to do. And they did an eating challenge. Because I remember CT was just had blood coming out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Where
that
you had
was
to
a great
chug
shot.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that.
I
But-
think there should have been a hell of a lot more stops. I think there was so much it could have done. This should have gone at least 2 episodes to really show how
So-
hard it is. If you wanted to show it how hard it is, stretch it over 2 episodes, show all of the stops, show everybody struggling and falling. This is how you present it to make it look as tough, because really, this only looks a hop, skip, and a jump away from the final reckoning final. Only
So
cold.
before
The only
before
thing
we
I
got on, I was on Bananas' live. He had TJ and Jenny on. There was about 3 to 4 checkpoints that didn't make the final edit.
And
so-
why not?
Editing, honestly, I just think editing
Maybe-
gave up after halfway through the season with the whole situation.
Maybe it wasn't going to look so good on Bananas.
He's still, at the end of the day, you have the final scene. It doesn't really matter who's good or bad.
Sorry,
You
I
If
couldn't
you
help
had the
it.
finishing point, that's it.
Here goes Gabe saying these finals ain't how they used to be. And I disagree with you there, because the World of the Worlds 1 and 2 finals was fucking gnarly. Chrissy, I see
Yes.
you. What up? They were gnarly.
Chrissy.
This one, I mean, after what is it? The death loop? Come on. This doesn't really stack
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, that was 24 miles plus 5 challenges, then an overnight elimination, and then they had to go through, what was it, another 10 miles, 10, 15 miles. Like that, War of the Worlds 1, I feel like, is the standard now at this point. I don't think
think
there will
so, too.
ever be a final harder than that, because not only was it extremely long, extremely taxing, and they had to do a bunch of stuff involved in it, but they were in dead heat. Like we saw people pass out from how hot it was. Like we saw people quit because they didn't want it, they were too cold, but nobody passed out from how cold it was.
Yeah.
No, but
Well,
people
I
did
mean,
quit.
when I think you understand because you're in the Midwest as well, Tyler, is when it's so cold, you're literally like breathing in icicles.
Yeah.
Like every breath is painful. Like in Illinois, where I live, it was negative 50 degrees at one point. Like you went outside and you were like, I'm going to die with every breath you take. You didn't even want to step foot outside. So I can imagine. I know what they were feeling was extraordinary pain. And I think honestly cold is harder than heat in a lot of ways. Because you're wet and you're
Yeah.
cold.
I mean, they're also like high altitude too, so it is hard breathing.
Yeah.
So,
That's
listen,
also a factor.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something, and I'm never gonna say it again. But Bananas is the best runner in a final in these conditions. I don't think a
Yes.
single person can beat him in these
free
conditions.
agents alone.
I really don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at
And
this
that's how I
difference
was
in
feeling.
sizes.
I was
Like,
really
look
getting
at-
a lot of free agents vibe.
It was
in this
free
final.
agents plus Battle of the X's. Like anytime he has to deal with like cold weather and high altitudes, he excels.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you
heat-
know what?
and heat
We could
isn't
thank
his-
Hannah for that.
Well, Hannah apparently didn't teach him how to ski.
I think the skiing really only worked downhill because going uphill it looked like these guys worked a lot better. So let's go ahead and take it back to the first leg of this final. So Corey won it for the males, and who's the female who won the first leg? Was it Jenny also?
Jenny.
Jenny also.
Duh.
So
Who else could have?
yeah, exactly right. This is where Bailey found herself getting hurt. This is where Melissa really took the falls. How did you guys feel about the first leg of this final?
I mean, it was a lot because I think they felt like they had to use the skis and they had to walk up this thing. And I think that's where the biggest difficulty you found that they were having is that they couldn't balance themselves and they kept falling. I mean, and you saw Bailey, like her leg twisted. It was,
Yeah, that was pretty terrible to see.
and the fact that she did continue through until day 2 is a lot for me to think of because, I mean, most people wouldn't even push through that because of that. But, obviously you could tell like certain people like Corey knew he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna carry it. I am not gonna try and put these skis on. So
That's because Corey's had ACL surgery before, so Corey doesn't have good knees. He talked about that on Bloodlines, that like he's got a bad knee, and so like I think that was just on his part. That was just like safety precaution, really.
Probably.
Like he was saying it was smart, but I think it was like safety, like the athlete in him. But one thing I want to say is that remember where we all were when we did this preseason, and we're like, this female cast isn't very strong. This is not a very strong female cast. We're not going to see, Jenny's going to be physically dominating, and it was
Showed.
just, yeah, it just showed, and
hardcore.
Yeah.
it's very disappointing, to be honest, from
Well,
that
you know
side.
what? But it wasn't all doom and gloom. There was some heavy hitters in there. Say what you want about Nani. She did look like she came to play. Jenna has been to 3 finals. Anissa has an all-time wins record. Maddie is huge. Dee has been destroying people. So classically, maybe not as tough, but these girls wasn't pushovers.
I mean, I can say that I definitely was surprised at how well Dee did this season. Obviously, before she was removed from the show,
I'm
but
not
she was doing a
surprised.
lot of winning and she was
Confidence
beasting it.
Helps. Like, I'm not surprised Dee did as well as she did. Confidence really, really helps. But Jenny in the Hall Brawl will squash any confidence anybody has. Like,
I think
That's-
pretty
Unless
early
you're Tori.
on. I think if Ashley too early, if she didn't get too much drama early on in the season, I think she would have dominated this final too.
She was targeted though.
I'm saying if she didn't
targeted.
cause drama in the middle, like in the beginning of the game, she caused a lot of drama in the beginning of the game. That got her name out there.
I really don't think
before
she
we,
caused it.
Before we jump back into the final, essentially a format like this is what is going to let weaker challengers follow through. Now, when I say that, Melissa, Bailey did a really good job during the season. They did really well, but they clearly did not train for a final. They're not prepared for. I know Bailey got hurt, but even if Bailey didn't get hurt, I still think that she would have.
She was
finished
third place tops. That's
yeah,
it.
I think she was competing with Melissa this whole time, and you can tell that they just weren't prepared for it. Where somebody like Nani, Ashley, Tori, Jenna, like those women came in prepared and trained, but because of the format, it forced them to throw their name in, which they wouldn't do in a season.
right?
No.
And I'm not mad at the format. I'm just saying that formats like this can get people to kind of skate to the end, kind of, and have like weak matchup. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say that.
Yeah,
But
no,
for
no, I get
for
what
the
you're
male
saying.
side, I don't really see any weak competitor that made it to the final besides maybe
Kyle.
Kyle.
I mean, Kyle isn't.
Kyle
Okay, I
didn't
don't
really
like Kyle,
belong.
but Kyle is not necessarily a weak player,
No, I wouldn't
especially in
say either. He's the
finals.
weakest of the male, I would say.
I
But
think he just had a bad season.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think he does really well in finals. I mean, you saw him in the Vendetta's file. He was actually a really strong competitor there. So,
also this male cast was very stacked from the beginning. Like
Yeah, very, very stacked for the males. So we were talking about the format earlier. Let's go ahead and jump back into that. After the first leg, everybody had to go up, and once they got to the cabin, they realized. I'm sorry. Once the first leg was done, TJ reveals to them that Corey and Jenny are going to form the last tribunal. There is going to be an elimination. Fair or foul? How did you guys feel about that? Tyler, kick it off.
It's for me, it's foul. I mean, I get it. I would have got it more if it was just the males because there was 5 guys and only 4 girls. What I don't like about it is like you make a final, let people finish the final because you never know what's gonna happen. Like realistically, let's say Corey puts in Bananas and Fessy into that. I mean, that's the number 2 and number 3 guy going into day 2, and now they're out because Kyle and Rogan get to just skate through. I just don't like things like that. It can take out a real contender in the middle of a game. And then also what they got messed up. Casey still got rewarded and she never actually went into elimination. She got an extra 6 hours of sleep inside the compound. None of it made sense to me. It seems like they just kind of like were like flipping coins and going heads or tails. Should we do this? Yep. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Like, what do we got? We got a bell. All right, let's hang up a bell and do it. Yeah. Like it didn't seem very well planned in my eyes.
All right, Becky.
I think it was just the sheer number of people, and I honestly was also surprised that they did guys and girls because, as Tyler said, there was more females than males, and honestly, I think the females should have been left probably out of it. But yeah, it really wasn't. I get it was like, oh, there's an advantage, but literally every 30 seconds, it was like it wasn't just one positive thing you get. You got like 12 positive things for winning and for winning, quote unquote, in Casey's instance. Honestly, think that she should have been outside with the losers because you didn't actually win anything. Somebody quit. And sadness seeing Melissa quit. Honestly, I'm so sad to see her go, but I understand why she did.
That definitely sucked. Antonio, what's your
Hey,
feelings about seeing a elimination after the first leg of the final? Fair or foul?
oh, 100% foul. I just don't like it because just having an elimination, the winner, whoever wins, they're my mindset is all right. Whoever wins, if they go straight to the next stage, they're at a major disadvantage because they're using all the energy on that elimination, and now they're gonna get fucked. I mean, I get yeah they get to sleep for 6 hours. That was a good way to equal it out. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna do anything in a final, make it a purge. Get rid of the last place person. Don't do any eliminations in the future.
so on our Facebook chat, Jennifer Mooney just gave us some interesting dirt here. Apparently, Rogan on an Instagram story said that everyone got to throw a time delay on people, and everyone threw theirs on Rogan. So that's why he volunteered. Yeah. So he was
Oh.
already super far behind, anyways.
Right.
So,
And he was probably going to get voted in anyways.
but
Yeah,
that's
there was
just
a lot of stuff we didn't see in this
Interesting.
final.
Interesting. So the way I feel about it is, I'm not a big fan of a elimination right in the middle of a final. I agree with you, Tyler. Let them run it out. Let them run it out. Just let everybody. And if anything, have a purge. You got 9 finalists. You can purge. You can purge it down to 6 before you hit the last leg. But I will say, I don't really feel like seeing this elimination really did much for it. But I think I would like to see this elimination in the future. It's like a hall brawl without the walls. You know where the bell is. I say even lower it a little bit, make it easier to hit. So whoever wants to get it is going to have to make contact. And then you got to fight to get up. I think that's an excellent idea. I hope to see this elimination in the future. How did you guys feel about the actual elimination? Oh, you know
I think
what?
it was
But
I'm gonna go
before we
two.
do that,
Oh,
let's go ahead and get into the voting. So,
yeah.
Corey and Jenny got the vote. Rogan steps up to the plate, votes himself in, and Melissa steps up to the plate and vote herself in. Now, granted, people throwing themselves in, we don't see it a lot. Back in the day, Alton would do it because he was such a great team member, but most people never throw themselves in. This season was the one exception because that was the format. Everybody had to get their red skull. What do you guys feel about Rogan and Melissa throwing themselves in to final elimination?
I think they did it on purpose because they wanted to go home. Like, I'll be honest. I honestly think Melissa was doing it so that she could try to win and then lose and go home.
Let me
But
ask you. So you think that from the very beginning, Melissa wanted to vote herself in because she knew she was going to quit?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the minute she found out there was an elimination, because you could tell it in her face, she could not keep going.
Just wasn't. You know what? I want to be like TJ. I want to be mad at the people who quit, but she said it herself. Like, I'm not built for this. I thought I had it in me. I do not. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here and go home.
But I feel like it would have been different if she was not pregnant.
Apparently, the production told TJ to go easy on her. That's why we didn't see him rip her. Because
Do you think they knew at the time when this was happening?
She probably told him.
She probably told
I don't
him
think
that
she knew.
she probably. I think she found out. I think in the final towards the end, she might have had an idea and she might have said something, and they probably were like, "Just go easy on her." We don't know, but just in case, you
Just
don't
having
like,
symptoms. We don't have a test on hand. Just take it easy.
Like everybody loves TJ. Sorry, but we don't want you to be the guy that yells at a pregnant lady on national TV. Like,
I just think she was just so far behind too. She was dead last. And look at the females above her: Bailey, Casey, and Jenny. She had no chance.
She wasn't ready for this. She wasn't ready for this. And that's not the worst thing in the world. Because sometimes you got to go into that final, get smacked around a little bit, and the next time you come back, you know how you got to train up. You know, Georgia, one of the strongest females, fainted out and had to get and she wasn't medically cleared to continue to go on. But I tell you what, if Georgia's going to go to another final, I bet your ass she'll be ready.
I mean, we have to give Melissa credit for just owning up to it. She admitted it, saying, "I am not cut out for this. Like, this is not my thing right now. Like, I just can't do it." And
Bailey beat her with a bum knee.
I think there's a certain kind of bravery in that, and realizing like, hey, I have no more to offer this. I'm done. I can't continue to go on.
It's respect for it, because it's no athlete wants, but just think about every athlete. No athlete just opens up saying, "Yeah, yo, I just can't do this anymore."
Melissa screams athlete to you?
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, if you're on the show, you're an athlete to me.
I once saw Terrell Davis finish the Super Bowl with a goddamn migraine. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just saying.
He won two, and John Elway would have never got one if it wasn't for Terrell Davis.
And yes, that's a professional athlete.
But they had that's a team game, and they had a chance of winning. Melissa had no effort of winning. She had no chance of winning. Sorry,
it's not that. She just didn't have any heart. Like when you're down on the ground and you're kicked like dirt in your face and you can't breathe and you can't move. There's something that moves you, and it's like having heart. It's pushing through when you can't push through anymore. That's how we've seen like Kyle was outmatched on Vendettas and finished 4th overall before they let Kayla into the final part of it. He finished 2nd for the guys, 3rd overall here. And we look at that guy and we go, man, he's not in shape. He can't run these finals, but he's got heart. He doesn't stop pushing. He's in pain every step on day 2.
Well, Melissa had another heart to look out for.
Yes, I understand that.
She was not aware that she was pregnant at the time.
I don't think she knew until she got out.
But that's why
she found out afterwards.
That's why Bailey finished ahead of her with a bum knee, because Bailey just has a little more heart than Melissa in working on that. But there's 2 things I want to touch on. The first thing is I think eliminations, like I said, during the final are bull. And I think if you're going to do what free agents did. Get everybody to fly to a new destination. They show up and go, all right, we're going to start the final. But 2 of you are going to elimination right now before the final starts.
I would agree.
Like they did. 2 people are eliminated. Now we start the final. Like,
Gabe has a real good point that pregnancy does drain all of your energy.
And I'm not discrediting her at all. She overcame a lot for being pregnant. I'm not saying that, but if she wasn't pregnant, I don't even know if she could have done. I don't know if she would have done any better, to be honest.
I think she would have. I think that Melissa has a lot of heart, but I think that overall she was just too tired. I know I've seen lots of my friends and my family members when they're pregnant, they can't keep pushing through. And that's just more based on, them realizing that their bodies can't keep going. Obviously, she didn't know why she could. So in her mind, she's like, I don't understand. You even saw it in her face. She was disappointed in herself. She's like, what the fuck? I thought I could handle this. And I think honestly, it was because she was pregnant that she couldn't move forward.
I would agree. I think, Tyler, you can cut her a little slack. She may not have known she was pregnant, but cut her a little slack.
Yeah, Tyler, what the fuck's wrong with you? Jesus Christ.
Trust me. I have been saying every episode, like, holy cow, can you believe she's doing this? Because she's pregnant right now, and I've been like getting looks I've been getting looks all the time from my wife, like, why do you keep talking about her? And I'm like, it's impressive. I'm sorry. Like,
you're a woman hater. That's what it is.
Trust me. I'm not hating on her. I'm not hating on her. Yeah, don't do that. I get worried about that. Now, back to your question, Malik, about this elimination getting brought back. I think it'd be cool is you put them in shoulder pads and then you put them through like a mini little like zigzag maze, and then there's an open area. So it still has speed and agility, but you get to that open area, and if you're late, you just crush somebody.
Well, isn't that similar to the free agents one?
No, we saw another one last season with I think it was Bear and Joss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was kind of like the little maze thing. That was a good one too. I thought that.
But the difference was they had to get past each other. I think it'd be good if you had a little more open area. And they got to fight for a bell up top. Would be kind of cool.
But this one was still tough though because they're in snow.
Like a funnel where it's skinny, and then it opens up.
Yeah.
That'd be raw. I like that one.
Like
Chrissy says you're canceled, Tyler.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Okay, so, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Let's go ahead and move on to the actual elimination. Bananas, Skunks, Rogan. It looks like he did it kind of easily. Now, it was at this point because we all heard the rumors about this season being rigged for Johnny. First off, when Corey says, Rogan voted himself in, and Corey's just like, yeah, that's cool and all, but Bananas is my biggest threat, so I'm throwing him in there. I really thought that was a good move for Corey. Corey isn't as dumb as he looks. Bananas in the finals will always be a threat. I don't care if he's 45. I don't care if he's 55. That man can run. If Jordan's and Bananas is in the final, guess what? Your chances just went down by a whole fucking lot. Also, personally, speaking for myself, fuck Jordan. But continuing on.
Jordan's a racist.
Yes, this is true. So Jenny, also, Melissa was throwing herself in, and she decides to go for Casey. How do you guys make of, anytime somebody asks, the cast tried, if somebody wants to go in, sure, you can go in, and they usually respect that. How do you feel about them playing what's best for their game at this point, which I fucking loved? So Bananas, kick it off.
I think the both of them made clear choices. Bananas, if you see him in the final, you definitely want him out right away. No matter what you can do, you give him penalties, you give him whatever. Because he's the best to do it. He's 7 for 9 in finals. Like, come on. And then Jenny, who you gonna throw in? Bailey with the bad knee or Casey? You want to keep Bailey around. You don't want to risk her going home. So it was 2 no-brainers.
Becky.
I definitely agree. I think that I think the guys were kicking themselves for not trying to get Johnny out earlier. I think they weren't really thinking a lot this season about the need to get him out as quickly as possible due to the fact that he is a finals beast. You got to say he prepares for this. Johnny, all year, every single time I see him on anything, Instagram or whatever, he's working out. He's doing this. Like, he's a professional player of this game.
Challenger.
So, challenger, whatever. Asshole. But anyway, just my opinion. I didn't like him this season. But anyway, so when I see it, I see how he does really well. And it was really stupid for them not to getting him out earlier. Honestly, it was probably the smartest decision to try and throwing him in and hope that Rogan pulls out some sort of magic. Casey was a good choice too for the same reasons. Casey was a strong runner. Even though she didn't really do as well on the first leg, she was more likely to beat Bailey, and if anything, would be able to go hand in hand with Jenny. So it made sense.
And Tyler.
Obviously, Corey's decision made sense. It was smart. It follows what you need to do as a competitor. I disagree with Jenny's decision, though. And the reason why is because Jenny is one of the worst dominating players in this game I've ever seen. Her political game is so bad. And the way she talks and the way she tries being friends with everybody and she tries getting on both sides. Earlier in the season, she put in Anissa because I don't care if I go against strong people in the final. And here go in the final, and it's like, okay, actually, I want to go against the easiest person I can. I want to get Casey out. Like, she just flips back on her words. Now, was it smart? 100%. But based on what we have on record, she's not scared of strong competitors, then sends in her strongest competition. It's smart. It doesn't make sense for me the way she talks. And if she didn't say things so much, it wouldn't matter. But she just says things and then goes back on them immediately.
I mean, but I see where she's coming from, though. Everyone has a big game until it gets there. When you see $500,000 in front of your face, and you're gonna risk it. No, I'm gonna take the easiest way.
She made the smart move.
I said it was smart. It was smart.
She made the smart move. But if Jenny's going to come back and continue winning these things, she's going to have to be better politically. Because she's already big and strong. Everybody knew this from jump. And then she got fucking washed by Tori in the Hall Brawl.
I mean, next season's going to be fun for her.
Washes everybody. And now everybody knows what a threat she is. If she's back here next season, she will be the number one female target. All reality, unless she wins enough dailies, I can see her going in again and again and again. I can see them doing her like they did Brandon and Cutthroat, which was fucked up, by the way.
It won't be cake for her. Like, they won't, like, her elimination against Jen, stuff like that will never happen again. Like, she'll never get a matchup like that ever again. If they see a Hall Brawl, they won't put her in. If they see something like they don't think she can do, that's what they're going to throw her in. Like, they're going to push her. That's what's going to happen. And she might get...
No matter what next season Jenny's on, if Cara or Laurel aren't on it, she's number one. She's easy number one target regardless. No matter if she won or lost this final, she is your clear number one target because she is just a physical threat. We've seen it 2 seasons in a row. You don't want to like just risk going against her.
I think she's a number one threat even with Cara and Laurel on there. Sorry, I don't.
I just think Cara and Laurel just have too many enemies against them right now that make them the 2 targets ahead.
Cara had a lot of enemies against her in World of the Worlds, in World of the Worlds too, and you see how they systematically dismantled all of their opposition for the most part, and they ran their whole crew into the final. A lot of people got a lot to say about how Cara and Paulie ran that house and their alliance and Cara's cult. I've never seen a more, and don't get me wrong, this is including JEK. Since JEK, we have not seen a more dominating alliance. They dominated shit.
But let's just see how they can work together on an individual season. They got lucky because it was 2 teams, so they had to work together. Now put them in a season where they have to work against each other at some point. Let's see how it goes. Because it's a lot easier bringing a team of 8 to a final when you're on 2 teams. Now let's see if they can bring all 8 people to the final when only 6 can make it.
Listen,
on an individual season. Because that's a whole different game plan.
Look at me. Make no mistake. When Cara and Paulie comes back, they are going to fuck shit up. They are
really
well-rested. They are well-rested. A lot of that hate dust has already flown off. Paulie is going to be a real fucking problem. And Cara backing him up, everybody's going to need to watch out for those guys.
I mean, I could say that Jenny overall is an overall strong competitor. She's really good at everything. Kind of like how Jordan seems to be good at almost everything. It seemed like Jenny is as well. And again, giving credit where credit's due, as much as I distaste fucking Jordan.
He's good. He's fucking good and magical to watch.
It's a separation of competitor and self. Hate the person, Jordan, but you can respect the game, Jordan. Like, it's okay.
I don't even respect. I'm never going to respect him, but I'm going to give him credit where credit is due.
Can you imagine if Jordan actually played a good political game?
Oh, I don't even think he knows how.
Christ.
Well,
Johnny's record could be in jeopardy if he was actually likable.
I mean,
Well-
even with a bad political game, Johnny's record could be in trouble. If Jordan played 14 more challenges, you're gonna tell me he wouldn't win 4 of 14? He won 3 of 6. Like
I
3
think
of
it
5.
depends.
He won
it
3 of
depends on
5.
it depends on the format,
It
but
would.
it depends really on the format.
Because he definitely went
Jordan.
in there and got washed the fuck up by Fessy. But let's go ahead and move this on to the last leg of the final. Before we get there, Bailey, who's already been dealing with a really serious knee injury, may have torn something. I don't really know the extent of it now, but she tells the medical team that she can't continue. She's done. How do we feel about Bailey quitting? Antonio, kick it off. Get off your phone. Fucking schmuck.
Great. I don't know about it. I just don't know what the extent of her injury was, but I
Looked
get
pretty
why
bad.
she quit.
She was limping.
I mean, yeah, I think she's in the same place as Melissa. I feel like, but it's definitely in the snow. You need your legs to move. It's tough, and I just didn't see her winning regardless. And she was the only girl that would be outside for 6 hours. And trust me, you do not want to be outside next to Kyle for 6 hours.
Bessie wanted to punch him in the face.
We've seen Bessie's reaction. So
Should've.
honestly, I don't blame Bailey either. I understand why they both. I mean, I do wish both Bailey and Melissa did fight and stay, but I understand why they did it.
Becky.
I mean, you could tell that she was in a lot of pain. She was having a lot of difficulty walking. Myself, I'm someone that has chronic pain, obviously different than what Bailey's situation is. But when you're cold and you're wet and you know that there's no end in sight, it just causes everything to hurt 10 times more. So I don't blame her for quitting. I wish she didn't, because she did so much and she worked so hard. She definitely doesn't deserve all the hate she got this season. She is literally one of my favorites, and I really hope she comes back. But I understand why she quit, even though I really wish she didn't.
I love Queen Bey. I really think she's great, and just like you, I also hate the amount of hate that she got, seemingly for no reason. But I wasn't a fan of her quitting. I think you let the mountain just take you in an ambulance, or whatever it is. I don't know the extent of her injury, but I felt like she could have gone longer. So, not a big fan of this one, but wish her the best. I really hope she comes back next season. Tyler.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. Like, I mean, here, actually, I'm gonna say this. She should have quit. It made sense. Like, if you have a bad knee, you need to get it taken care of. If she thought she tore a ligament in her knee, you have to get it taken care of. There's no $500,000 isn't going to make a big difference.
MCL tear is pretty fucking serious.
I mean, I had a fractured knee, and that shit wasn't fun.
How did you fracture your knee?
That's a long story.
Let's not go into it, because the last time we asked him to tell a story, he spent 20 minutes telling about how he fell and cut his hand. Remember?
Fucking podcast. That's what we do. We talk about TV shows and stories and shit.
If you want me to say it, I'll say it.
We'll save it to the end.
Okay.
But they get to sleep in this awesome compound for some reason, and
Jenny and
Here we
Banana
are.
was sleeping in that compound together. Becky, anything to that?
Well,
Oh my gosh, so we're Corey and Casey. Jesus Christ.
I'm
Next
saying,
question.
Yeah, Casey's gay.
Yeah, Casey doesn't like cock. So
Yeah.
no one's
yeah,
worried about that.
that literally is the same as Corey snuggled up with Nelson. So it's-
Okay, but I'm trying to say is that there was 2 people on the bed. So
Listen,
it's like, come on.
let me send you the screenshot that people have been taking of Johnny and Jenny just getting real cozy all
Okay,
throughout
and-
the season.
And this is the same people that said this season was rigged. So honestly, I don't believe a word they say.
There's
Johnny
video
has been known for being a
evidence.
cheater, though.
anyways, speculation, Twitter sphere.
All right.
If there is pictures of them snuggled up on a couch together,
They look
where
mad
she's
snuggled.
all
Okay,
wrapped
so
up
let me put it in the situation then.
together.
So when Paulie was on going to parties with girls and had girls in his videos, everyone assumed he was fucking them,
They
correct?
wasn't under the same
They
blanket.
were
though.
not under the same blanket. They weren't snuggled together.
I'm just saying they were the same hotel room. I don't know.
It's not the same, B.
No, but they were in the same hotel. I
It's
mean,
not
when
the
I
same.
when I
He
go to
just-
bars, person.
Why
every
is
girl's final,
Paulie
it's
always
over.
getting pulled into this?
Exactly,
Because
leave
your
Paulie
man's a
alone.
cheater.
And Paulie's not a cheater? I'm just saying because he's part of that clique. That's it.
You just desperate to try and find somebody else to make.
No,
fun of
Antonio's just mad of getting a new stepmom every 6 months, so he just wants to keep it. He just wants to keep it steady for a while. So that's all.
Morgan.
Hey, real quick.
I actually like Morgan.
DJ Kanji said West would have crushed this final. You guys agree?
I think so too. I think so.
I think
I
he would
think
have killed
so.
it.
Probably.
Oh, look at.
I don't know if he would have won, but he would have.
Hey guys.
I don't know.
Hey guys. Chicks.
Well, yeah, but you got to say that at a part where you know. You can't just say it for no reason. You got to segue.
I just want to say it for no reason. I can say it for no reason if I want to.
All right. It's already
Maybe
11:30.
Jenny should have snuggled with Casey. Maybe that
go
wouldn't have been
ahead.
an issue.
Let's go ahead and move into the final leg. Real quick, Pam says, what about Jay? How do you think he'll do in his final?
I think he would have done well. He's a rock climber.
Really?
He's a rock climber.
He is a rock climber.
Rocks. Are there snow on rocks?
Carrying
No, he
logs?
deals with high elevations. I'm
I'm
saying.
only kidding.
You
like
can't
Jay.
rock climb in the snow.
I like Jay, but I haven't seen his skill set enough during this season for him to be able to pull this off. I don't think he would have done terribly, and I like Jay. I like him very, very much. But I don't really know. I don't think his body of work
Do they have a lot of
it's just hard.
endurances?
It's
Endurance
hard to
challenges on
compare when you
Survivor?
have a 7-time
Yeah.
winner.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Here's the thing. Okay, yes, they do, Becky. They do have a lot of endurance challenges. But hang on. If we would say that if you're a bigger, more muscular challenger in snow, you're gonna struggle.
Like Fessy.
Why couldn't we go the complete opposite? That if you're scrawny and fit, that you would succeed. Like he has less weight to pull through.
He'll get too cold.
I mean, look at Johnny.
He would, but he has less weight to pull through the snow, so he's not going to get stuck and have to pull up his leg, as much. Like it's lighter. I mean, he might have. So,
I mean, Johnny is significantly, in my opinion, smaller than Fessy, and he did a lot better.
Johnny is stacked. Like, don't sleep on bananas.
I mean, height-wise, he's
the size of a good athlete. That's what it is.
And he's well.
He has what every athlete needs. He has a good size. He has a good.
Well,
you would know he has a good size, wouldn't you?
Oh my God, I hate you so much.
I'm sorry to say, but we all have seen it, and no, Johnny doesn't have a good size.
I think he's talking about. Oh. Stop. Antonio spends a lot of money on Bananas OnlyFans every month. Let him be, okay?
Hey, I better start my own.
This is my face right here, and I think that's a good place to say.
You can
chicks.
make some money, Antonio. We've seen those sweatpants, man. You can make some money.
Oh my God, we already know. Like half a Stan Twitter would totally jump on it. You should do it. You're single.
We saw
You're
you answering
single,
questions the
Antonio.
other night.
We
He was
will.
answering-
Oh, I better delete my Twitter.
Back
Gonna
to the
leave
last
Twitter
leg of this
forever.
And
Bye.
this is something that I do like about the last leg. I like the last leg being a race. When it's all said and done, race it out. 1 minute head start isn't really shit. So, but it did matter because they were able to make the tribunal. And then there's math. Math has crushed so many challengers' dreams when it comes to the final. Is it time to get rid of math during this part?
No,
Speak on it, Becky.
it's an equalizer. Honestly,
Maybe it's a little bit too much of an equalizer. Corey went from sugar to shit real fast.
I mean,
mean-
math is math. If you can't do math, like, come on.
Becky,
I mean,
whenever you're
not a
done
lot of
tweeting-
people can do math. It's
Math is not that hard.
okay. You can say that, but I'm terrible at math. So I will be 100% honest. Math is extraordinarily difficult for some people, especially in the cold, especially running through the cold, having
They
to
get
remember
right in the
everything.
snow.
So the
Be like,
code
oh,
makes people
4,
bad at
2.
math?
I think it's hard for you to remember.
They get right in the snow.
Did you not see Casey? Every
can
single
pee
time
in
she
the
tried to
snow.
write it, it got covered. Okay,
Every
Malik,
final-
Letters.
the
Every final
females
should
can't
have
pee in the
fi-
snow like that.
Every final should have 5 aspects to it. Every final already has endurance. We know this. Okay. Every final has physicality. Like we got the logs at the beginning, not a lot. Okay. Every final should have mental, which is our math.
Our
every
puzzle.
final should or
you know
puzzle.
what? You know what? This is what I
Either
counted.
or.
Get the math out, put back in a puzzle.
Do both. Do a
Ooh,
math.
puzzles would
Do
be
a
good.
math
Do a
equation
math
that
puzzle? Jesus
a
Christ.
math
You
equation that
fucking
unlocks
Bill
your
now.
puzzle.
No, yeah. So
pieces.
when they get the code, it unlocks puzzle pieces, and you use those pieces to.
And you carry the puzzle pieces
You
a
got
fourth away.
Nadine called it out. These motherfuckers don't remember pandas. Once you reach 20,
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Hey, that's 3. The fourth one needs to be a food eating challenge. Something. No, but it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be big.
All
it can be like a World of Worlds 1 where somebody eats a bowl of oatmeal, but it's just something.
I like that one. Nobody
Number
wants to see him eat cow testicles all the time.
And number 5,
I
the
would.
5th thing is luck. Luck always has to be involved in it. It has to be something that's like
A stupid carnival
No,
game.
like something that's
because
random that
killed
anybody
Cora
can be
Maria.
good at.
Carnival game. That's it.
No, that killed Cora in World of the Worlds 1.
No, math killed Kara. Being
Tic-tac-toe.
bad at
No, Kara crying killed Kara.
No.
Tic-tac-toe is not luck.
Tic-tac-toe and
That's not
math.
luck. That's not luck. Tic-tac-toe isn't luck. No.
Wait,
No, I'm sorry, it was
to
Connect
tic-tac-toe,
4.
Connect 4. I was going to say, wait, it was Connect 4.
Same thing.
Yeah,
That's
she lost
not
Connect
luck.
for like 6 times.
That's not
her
luck.
fault.
That's mental.
That was,
I'll be
that was
honest.
bad luck.
Oh my God, Connect 4 is so easy. If you lose a Connect 4, I mean, you're just.
She lost a lot to Connect 4.
So to lose 3 times in a row, Connect 4, something like.
I
don't know.
suck at Connect 4. And I also suck
All right,
at
so
math.
I work with
So-
kids, so I play Connect 4 like every day, and I'm a master at it.
See,
He destroys 7-year-olds in
Exactly.
Connect 4.
And
They are 10.
Listen,
They are 10 years old.
You notice how you said how he used to work with kids, right? He's not allowed to.
The schools are closed right now.
Oh.
Because schools are closed.
Oh.
But anyway, in my opinion, every final should have those aspects into it. Depending on how much you use them, doesn't matter. But every final should have those 5 aspects because there's not a single challenger out there that is good in all 5 of those. Like we can probably say Jordan's probably not really good in eating. We think he's good at everything. Landon's probably not good at eating, but he's good at everything. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like
Landon could eat a fucking well. He's not bad at anything.
maybe I don't know. He's
Haircuts. That's what he's bad at.
Has Jordan done an eating challenge?
In a final, he had to drink that milk on Dirty 30. That little milk when they shot the what is it? That bow that they had to throw.
What was it?
And they tossed the thing
But
to hit
he
the
was
thing. Yeah.
but he was really good at that carnival game, so he didn't have to drink a ton. So
Yes. All right. So, hold on.
I'm not canceled.
You are.
You just may be. So, when it's all
You
said
come
and
back
done,
just to get canceled, Tyler.
when it's all said and done, Bananas crosses the finish line. Jenny crosses the finish line. It was kind of anticlimactic. TJ just like, yes, grab that skull. $500,000. Good for you.
I won? No way. Really? I did.
Like even Jenny was like, "That's it."
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it should have most definitely been something like, grab this fucking
yeah.
bomb, blow the smoke, throw it off, and a grenade goes off. Just fucking anything else. But we got what we got. Let's talk about Jenny. Let's talk about this season. How impressed or unimpressed, and what does she need to work on in the future to make herself a legitimate challenge competitor? Not that she's illegitimate, but what does she need to take it to the next level, to become that next Laurel, to become that next Cara, to become that next Evelyn? Becky.
I honestly think that Jenny has all of the things that she needs. She just needs to work on her political game a little bit more. I think that she stretched herself out way too thin, made herself look really bad in a lot of places. So I think that
She looks like a snake.
she does. And honestly, yes, to win this game, sometimes you have to pull the snake move. But she did it a few times. It's not really a good look for her, especially since she wants to portray herself as being this toe to the line, rule following, challenger. So I think she just needs to work on that. And if she has to go full blown banana, where she's going to start being a full blown snake every single season, she should just either embrace it or she needs to try and change it.
Tyler.
Well, it's like your question doesn't make sense because she already is Cara and Laurel, because she's a dominant daily performer, good in eliminations. She's a physical beast, and she's shit at politics like those two. And
Factual.
I'm sorry, I'm not hating on them, but that's not their strong point.
Woman hater. You just hate
No.
on 3 females in one sentence.
I just
Dude,
complimented
woman
them.
hater.
The woman hating thing.
I just gave 3 compliments and 1 negative.
Listen,
Now,
sir, you can't say he's a woman hater. I'm the only woman on this podcast, so I call him a woman hater. He's not.
Here,
That's a
okay,
fact.
hang on. Here's the thing. If you're gonna say who she needs to be like, it needs to be like the GOAT, which is Evelyn Smith, who is good at every aspect of the game. She loses her temper, but she is like, there's no female out there that is a dominant physical presence and has a great political game outside of Evelyn, in my eyes.
She's amazing.
We always see these females on either side of the pole, and so it's her politics. And everybody in the chat right now on Facebook is blowing that up, saying it. And I think everybody across the world that's a challenge fan is saying politics. That's what she needs to fix. It's just, if you make a promise, don't break said promise. That's all it is. Simple as that. If you have somebody's back, have their back. Don't have their enemy's back. Like, you can kind of dip your foot and be like, don't say my name, but don't promise them the same thing you're promising your best friend. It's just, her game just gets sloppy politically, and it's going to make her a target in future seasons where people are going to be like, you know what? She might dominate every elimination, but not if we send her in 3-4 times in a row.
Eventually she's
I
going to trip.
think you guys have it all wrong.
Oh.
I think she has to do a complete 180 and be a villain. Be that imitating person. Like, I think she's just. I think
Imitating?
no. Like,
Or do you
she
mean intimidating?
is intimidating. Sorry, I'm like thinking like she's just. I think in the house she's like a nice person.
Okay.
Where she's like, she wants everyone's friends. If she's like, yo, I'm the biggest female here, I'm the strongest one, and she just makes her presence known, and that's all she has to do. Because like a political game can only go so far. Because every season, oh, you're a snake, you're this, you're that. Like, it gets annoying to keep hearing. And if I'd rather be intimidating, because now, oh, you want to go against me? Fine. I know I'm going to win. Let's do it. Because that's the game Fessy played. Fessy had a good social game, but he was like, I'm the biggest guy here. Do you really want to go up against me? I'm going to win, and I'm going to come back. Now, if Jenny has that same attitude, and she sticks with it for hardcore, she's set.
I'm going to stop you there, Antonio. Because this is a very rare time that me and you are 100% on the same page.
He said same page. He didn't say you're right.
No,
He's
no,
also.
no. I do think he's 100% right. And I was mad because I'm listening to him talk, and he was saying the same exact thing I was going to say.
Gross.
As much as I hate the guy with Jordan, I love the fact that Jordan is just like, I don't need to team up with you. No, I'm down to go in whenever. You want to throw me in? Throw me in. I'll come back in and I'll fuck you up. Put whoever you want in front of me, I'll wash everybody up. And I think Jenny needs a little bit of that. What the fuck you say? I tell you what, I'm going to vote you into elimination. I'm going to vote myself down into elimination so I could wash your ass in front of fucking national TV. I love that shit. This is one of the reasons why I love... And Too Much Shannon said it best. She has to have that Laurel attitude. And Laurel was a master of that. Laurel has shitty politics, but that is Laurel politics. Oh, man. Remember when Free Agents, when Anissa was trying to suck up to Laurel? And she just goes, yeah, you suck at this. Fucking
Remember
love
Devin?
that shit.
Remember
I think
Devin
Jenny
and-
has to shed the nice girl shit and just start getting in everybody else's ass. It just says, do you want to beef with me? I will make you regret your whole shit. CT has built a fucking career on it. When she's 10 challenges in, then she can ease up and become Mama Bear. Until now, these bitches are scared of you, pardon my language, and keep them scared.
Well, the thing is you remember when Laurel got voted in, the glare, the death glare that she gave all
Fucking
of them,
scared me.
terrified through me. I couldn't.
But that
not even
notebook,
on
that's it.
The
She's like, oh,
book.
do you see the book? That's it. I got your game plan right here. That's what I'm saying. With this challenge, if you have that presence in you, you're set.
I can't see Jenny portraying that. I will be 100% honest. She's a
You say that-
marshmallow.
You say that now. Could we,
She
Look
has
at her.
to. She has a better chance of
any
doing
of us
that than
foresee-
being political.
Listen,
I
can
mean-
any of us foresee CT taking on this elderly statesman guiding the youth role? You were told me that 6 seasons ago. I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He had a baby
CT,
and all shit went to hell.
People change, people evolve, people grow. But before we get out of here, now Jenny is on equal footing with Bananas in this final. She actually finished before. So let's make sure that Jenny gets the same due credit as the GOAT. But let's move on to the GOAT and Johnny Bananas' legacy for the challenge. Antonio, I'll let you go off a little bit in the beginning of the show. Do feel free to
I'll
go
take
up
the
a
back
little bit
seat.
now.
Oh, I'm going first this time again.
He's your guy.
Oh,
He's
okay.
gonna let you suck his
Listen.
dick a little bit.
But
All
before
right, so
you go
what
on,
was your question? Because I wasn't really going first.
make sure you
His
let
legacy.
Tyler fucking feel it. We're talking about Johnny Bananas' legacy.
Okay, I mean, where do I begin? Many years ago, he started in Key West, and then
I'm gonna regret this
he.
shit I have.
No. All seriousness,
We're gonna be
I,
here
I
till
don't
like
I don't
3
want to be
o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
not gonna be repetitive. I'm gonna keep
Tyler
it
wants
short
all
and
of the
sweet.
smoke right now.
All right, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. He is I don't care what anyone says. He is the greatest challenger of all time. He's been to 9 finals. He won 7 times. The only person to ever make it to 9 finals won twice. The only other person that comes close is Darrell, and he had 4 final wins. And yes, Darrell's made it, but the majority of Darrell's wins are teams. And that became in the beginning of the challenge career. Now, when you win more, the odds of you keep winning get slower and slower because we've seen the last 6 seasons, he has not made it this far because of his social game, because he's been, it's been a little shady here and there.
He's also been targeted from jump.
Yes, because when you see a guy that wins 6 times, you want him out first. This format, he played it to his best ability, and he just succeeded. And you can hate him all you want, but you have to respect his game. Like anyone, if you hate him, fine. I don't care. You just cannot say he sucks as a challenge player. You cannot say he's not the greatest. He is better than Wes. He's better than Jordan. He's better than CT. In any, they might have better aspects than him, but overall, challenge game wise, Bananas is the GOAT of it. He's the GOAT. That's it.
Okay. And Becky.
I think overall, Johnny became a career player. And I think that's his legacy. I think he has shown people that you can do this repeatedly, years after years after years, and, have such, he's honestly one of those people that's such an extreme. You just love him one season, you hate him the next season. And I think he has really grown up in front of the camera from being like the shittiest person on the challenge that treated everybody like garbage, especially women, to a semi-decent human being. So you got to give him a little bit of credit for that. But
you mean an adult? Is what you're saying? You
Yeah,
described an adult.
Hey, sure. Amber Renee says Devin is better
than Bananas. Like, in what way, Amber? That's a little bit.
Go on, continue.
But anyway, but yeah, I think just his legacy is just of somebody who puts everything into these challenges. Because I can say one thing about Bananas is he puts his heart and soul and everything into these challenges, into winning these challenges, into playing this character that he feels he needs to portray, whether that be the villain or the anti-hero, like he was like on Final Reckoning. So I think he's just that kind of a player and that kind of a person. So I respect it. Like Antonio says, I don't like him, but maybe next season I will. So we'll give him a shot.
Tyler, I've been waiting to ask you this question. You are not a stan. You love the show overall. You are one of the most non-biased people when it comes to the show. It's one of the reasons why I love having you on LWC. I'm very, very eager to hear what you have to say about Johnny Bananas' legacy after his 7th win.
So I'm gonna say that this was his best political game he's ever played this season. He found a way to take all of his enemies and like connect bridges to all of them. He worked with Wes in this game. He found a connection with Corey, and because he found a connection with Corey's alliance of Nelson and Fessy didn't target Bananas. He had a previous relationship with Melissa when they were whatever they were, mercenaries in that final, allegedly. He allegedly had close relations with Jenny as a best friend. Allegedly.
Snuggle buddies.
He just had a lot of people in that challenge house that worked in his favor. Now, as far as the whole rigging thing goes, you can rig everything up as much as you want, but he still has to beat Wes in that elimination. He still has to make it to the final.
Beat
All
Rogan.
These things have to happen. Like, he has to beat Rogan. He has to, yeah, things can happen, but that can happen for any person. Like, he still had people that kind of were targeting him, but he played the best political game he's ever played. Now, I don't think he's the greatest player to ever play this game because I see a lot of holes in his game. Like right now, Antonio is looking at a piece of Swiss cheese from the side where it looks complete. You just got to turn it, and there's a couple flaws in there. Now,
I mean, every challenger has flaws. I just think
He's
his
not done.
flaws.
Let him finish.
no. Hang on. I'm giving him a lot of respect. I'm just saying the flaws that I see in him.
That was happened today. I knew
Like
it.
I'm just saying the flaws that I see in him don't
background.
actually.
It
It
fell.
fell. It just fell. Mid talk.
I knew it. I knew it.
But you have to give respect where respect is due. You do 100%.
Oh.
But then again, I also don't think of greatest of all time as like a one person. I like to think of like Mount Rushmore type stuff where it's like a grand four, like the GOAT, like all 4 letters combined. So that's how I look. The ghetto Gabe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but you guys switched sides.
No, I hit the bottom by accident, and my thing fell.
All
That's what
right.
happened.
No,
Johnny
you
Bananas-
moved your
Johnny
spot.
Bananas legacy.
It's
Johnny?
He will. Yeah, go ahead. No, sorry. I think you're
Oh,
asking.
no,
me
go ahead. You got something to cap it off with?
No, I thought you wanted me to finish, but I would like to hear
I
what
do
you
want
have
you
to
to
say.
finish. Please go ahead. You have the floor.
No, I think his legacy is going to go down as one of the most influential challengers of all time. He's going to go down as one of the best finals runners of all time. And he's just a memorable, iconic character. Like 20 years from now, when season 70 is on, where it's grandparents versus teenagers on the challenge,
You mean this new challenge OGs that they're talking about doing?
You know what? Mark is just going along collecting fucking names. Like, that's all he's doing. This is never going to get off. Even though I would love to see it if it does. He's just collecting names.
Ain't gonna happen.
No.
But
even though I
go
would
ahead.
tune in if it does.
Close us out,
So would
Malik, on Johnny Bananas' legacy.
Johnny motherfucking Bananas. Greatest of all time. Because he's great all around. All of us, I mean, think about how big of a challenge fan you are at home, where you watch the show for 90 minutes and then listen to a podcast about it for another 90 minutes. We love this shit. And I love you guys for that. Like I said, you guys give us your time, and I am so appreciative. There's nothing more valuable to me. Johnny Bananas loves the challenge. He goes all out. I love the fact that he puts on his producer hat, and sometimes he'll take hits to his game and just to make sure it's good TV. Don't get me wrong. That has nothing to do with him stealing Sarah's money. He was going to take it anyway. Same with Ashley. She was going to take the money anyway. I think Johnny Bananas all around is one of the greatest. Is he the most athletic? No. Is he the biggest? No. Is he the strongest? No. Is he the fastest? No. Does he have the best politics? No. But season after season, he has been shown to put enough of those things together to keep getting wins. 7 fucking wins? That's not nothing. That's not nothing. I think that his record is probably going to stay safe. I think maybe a Jordan, if he plays long enough, might threaten it. I think Paulie, when he comes back, I think he's going to be a real force. I think Paulie and Fessy and Corey and Nelson are going to be the new guys to take over. I hope he never retires. Is it problematic? Sure. He hasn't always been the best version of himself, but I enjoy watching him. And Johnny Bananas like to say he is the challenge. And I would agree. Yeah. So congratulations to Jenny getting her first win. Played a hell of a season. Congratulations to Johnny Bananas getting his 7th win. The fucking man, and holding it down. Congratulations to all of you guys. I don't know how much more I can really say how appreciative we are that we get to kick it with you. We are going to be taking a short break. Right now, we are still planning on covering the reunion. Probably be a short episode. And then we're going to take a short break. Minimum 2 weeks, maximum 4 weeks. And then we are going to go in and cover the ruins. Episode by episode. And I'm going to put all of those episodes on our Twitter so you guys can keep up. Also, you can go visit TheChallengeGear.com. We got all of the seasons up there, low price. If you need a hookup, go ahead, holler at me. We'll get to it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Season 35 has been an absolute blast. We're hoping.
Are we gonna ask questions?
I'm sorry?
Are we gonna ask questions?
These motherfuckers have been popping off all day. And we start taking questions now. We're going to be
and I kind of got to leave in 5 minutes. I have people outside waiting for me. My friends in the car, like,
if
hurry
you guys
up.
do have questions, I think I would like to do a wrap-up episode of the whole entire season. So go ahead and hit us on our
next
Twitter.
week. Reunion.
Yeah, exactly. We could do that with the reunion. Hit us with your questions until 3. That would be great, DJ. Hit us with your questions. Hit us on our Twitter. Hit us on our Facebook. Hit us on our YouTube. We'll try to get to as many fan questions as we can next episode. This has been one of our biggest audiences we have, and we're only going to keep it going. We're not going to stop. LWC till I DIE. Thank you guys. We love you guys. Go visit the Challenge Gear. Get your custom-made shirt. Love you guys to death. Bananas, close us the fuck out.
All right. Finale episode. Let's fucking do it. Another great episode, Podstars. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stay updated by following us on Twitter and Instagram at LWC Podcast. Also, check out our Facebook at facebook.com/Love War Challenges. Join our discussion on Reddit under the Challenge subreddit at LWC Podcast. Also, check out our website at LWC Podcast. Make sure you listen to us on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Give us 5 stars, give us a great review, and most importantly, subscribe. Have a great day, Podstars. Peace. Team Bananas all day, every day. Woo!
Bye.
Bye.
This is a dirty game, bro. And what I've always said is all is fair in love, war, and challenges, 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 and challenges.
Nobody cares. And Jenny won. Bananas was second place.